You absolutely need to figure this out and update your marketing plan right now.
Most hosts never achieve the results they hoped for. They're falling short on listenership and monetization, meaning their message isn't being heard and their show ends up costing them money. This podcast was created to help you grow your listenership and make money while you're at it. Get ready to take notes. Here's your host, Adam Adams.
Welcome back to the podcast on podcasting. It is Adam Adams, and we are talking about a new way of marketing. And it came because I'm always trying new things. I'm always trying different things. And I've got somebody on my team, Mayeth, who has been helping me with some DM campaigns. You all have heard, I think if you've been listening long enough, you probably heard about DM campaigns, what they are, how they work. And you've probably heard me say that private messages are one of the best ways that I have found to be able to get connected with people. But the DM campaign that I had going was not working. So I had to update my marketing plan. That's what we're talking about today, is you should update your marketing plan to make sure that you're not losing out on money or clients or whatever it is. So I want to tell you with Mayeth from my team, what ended up happening. So she goes on her Facebook page and she private messages people in podcasting groups. So that's my perfect avatar. My perfect avatar is a new podcaster. Well, I've got two avatars. I've got the main avatar, which is a new podcaster. That means they are likely been doing podcasting, most likely less than 2 years and probably have less than 100 episodes. I know a lot of people that have 200 or 300 episodes and they are like, oh, my first 100 episodes, I just cringe. They were so bad. I was so bad. I've really learned since then. And that's why I say a new podcaster is 2 years or less or 100 episodes or less. Once you hit that 100 mark, once you hit that 2-year mark, you're probably really good. You're probably really understanding your stride. You probably figured a lot of stuff out. So my main avatar is somebody who's new. That means 2 years or less. And my other avatar is somebody who's about to start, somebody who wants to launch, but doesn't have the problems that the main people that will start a podcast, they're going to have problems, 90% of them. That's why we want to support people, because they started podcasts and then they don't have any listeners. So getting back to it, we came up with a DM campaign. I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I'm going to give you as much as I can possibly from memory. If anything that I left out, it is not intentional. It's just because I'm giving you the most that I possibly can. So we had this DM campaign that we would go into the place where our perfect avatar is. So this is Facebook groups of people that podcast. So just different groups. And Mayeth would send from her account. Now it said that she works with Grow Your Show. Grow Your Show is my company. This podcast is the podcast on podcasting. And her Facebook just shows that she works for Grow Your Show. And so she came to me. We had a meeting just now. And she came to me and she's like, I have some feedback for you. And she goes, I have some feedback. And I was like, sure, let's do it. Let's start with your feedback and then see where we go from there. So she mentions as politely as she possibly can, and I appreciate her candor. She mentions as politely and as kindly and as softly as she can, because I don't think she wants to hurt my feelings. That she goes, Adam, now I'm paraphrasing, of course, because I'm just going off memory. She said something like, Adam, now we've been doing this for like over 3 months and it's not working at all. And so something's going to change. Maybe we should stop. She's like tiptoeing because she doesn't want to hurt my feelings. But she's like, Adam, we've been doing this for a while and it's not working. And I go, let me see what's going on. And I see the first messages and it's like, it goes, hey, can you send me a link to your podcast? I'd like to hear it. Hey, I looked for your podcast. I couldn't find it. Do you mind sending me a link? Or, hey, I found your podcast. I listened to it. And it goes to the next thing. The thing is that this campaign was extremely salesy. And this is what you need to avoid when you update your marketing plan. You need to update your marketing plan. I'm updating mine. The way that this came across was extremely salesy. It was like this. And this is exactly what I told to Mayeth. I said, what is it like if somebody comes up to you that you just met and they're like, you're really cute, so we should go on a date? Or, hey, I bet you we would make some pretty babies together. Or, hey, you seem nice. Do you want to get married? All of these things are going to get you slapped, virtually slapped. And in this case, Mayeth was like 3 months of this campaign and people either ignore me or they block me. They either ignore me or they block me. And it turns out that we were going to propose for marriage on the very first time we were meeting people. let's put this back into perspective. We went from, can you send me a link to your podcast, to please hire my company. We need to make more money. So hire us. We need to get more clients. This is how it came across. And it just like the slap that you would get virtually, like, hey, can you send me a link to your podcast? Hey, do you want to hire us? It's so fast. It goes straight to marriage. It goes straight from, hi, my name's Adam. And then I lay a big fat kiss on someone. Hi, I'm Adam. And then I just kiss them right on the lips. I'm going to get slapped. I'm going to get blocked. I'm going to get ignored. I'm probably going to go to jail. It's not going to look good for my reputation. And it wasn't looking good for my reputation when we were DMing somebody. I'm looking for your podcast. Can you send it to me? And they go, here you go. And we're like, sounds really good. You should hire us. That's like trying to kiss somebody when the only thing they know is your name. Hi, I'm Adam. Mwah. Nobody wants that. Nobody's looking for that. Hey, let me see your podcast. Hey, you should hire us. It's too fast. So we are changing our marketing plan. And I think we did a pretty good job. Now, there's no proof of the pudding quite yet because we're just changing it now. But I think you're going to get some value by just listening in and hearing how we think through this, because you've got to update your marketing plan as well. Here's what we decided to do. Instead of saying, hi, I'm Adam, mwah, kiss you all right on the lips. Instead of saying, hey, what's your link? What's the link? You should hire us. Now it's changed. And I'm going to outline this for you. I think it's going to be beautiful. I think it's going to work. And there is a chance that you might get a message from my Eth. And now you'll know exactly what is working. So I said, first of all, let's not get people to hire Grow Your Show anymore. That is not the main thing that we need to be looking for. And like you heard, it's asking for marriage too fast. It's kissing someone way too fast when all they know is your name. So we've got it like this. She's going to find out if they have an active podcast. She's going to look for their podcast. And if she listens to the podcast, she's going to listen to at least a couple of minutes of the podcast. And if she can tell and determine that it's active, then she's going to just invite that person on to my podcast to be a guest so we can add some value to them and to you, the listener, as well. So if she's going to DM somebody and say, basically, if she can't find a podcast, she will still say, hey, can you give me a link to your podcast? Then they give the link and she's going to go to finding out if it's active or not. If it's active, she's going to listen to it, and then she's going to invite them to be a guest on the show. Now, that'll be great because I need guests on the show anyways. I already looking for good guests, and this is a great way to get them. And it's a great way to add value to them. And there is a law of reciprocity, a reciprocal law, meaning that when I tell you that, hey, your hair looks really nice today, you normally don't just say, okay. You probably don't even just say, thank you very much for commenting on my hair. And then you walk away. Normally, what ends up happening is, thank you. And you look really nice too. Hey, I appreciate that. And then you feel like you want to reciprocate somehow. This means the law of reciprocity is that we're just going straight to, hey, if you got an active podcast, I know we can add value to you by more exposure. And I know we can add value to our listener because Adam's going to extract things that'll be helpful for people that listen to the podcast on podcasting. So again, she'll find out if they've got it. And if it's active, she's going to invite them as guests. If it's not active, if they've got an inactive podcast, then we start with this. We say, hey, I was going to invite you to the podcast, but it looks like your podcast isn't publishing right now. Are you planning on resuming your schedule? Are you planning on going back to publishing episodes? And if they say, yeah, I'm going to go back to publishing, then my Eth is going to say, hey, when you do that, let me know so I can get you as a guest. So it's all for them. It's not, please hire us. It's all for them. It's all benefiting that person that we're DMing. And if they say no, if they say something like this, no, I don't plan to, or it's actually too challenging, or I no longer have time for my podcast, or if they say, I don't know because it's a lot of work. If they say positive, then we say, great, let me know. And if they say something like negative, like I'm not sure if I'm going to do it because it's too hard, I can't do all the editing, that the reason why I stopped doing it is because I didn't realize that I had to record and edit and produce and publish and do all of my own marketing and email my guest and create the promo images and, right? If we determine that the person on the other side has stopped their podcast simply because it's been a little overwhelming. Then she'll say, hey, because I work for the podcast I'm podcasting, I know a couple of people who can offload the work. Let me know if you'd like to connect with one of them and I can put you in touch. And so she'll probably put them in touch with me. And we can then say, hey, how can I help you resume this? Because it's good for your company. It's good for your business. It's good for yourself, actually, to be doing your podcast. It's beneficial to you to have your podcast. It's beneficial to that person to publish. And if the reason that they stopped publishing is because it was too much work, then of course it can be hugely beneficial to show them that there are companies out there that can offload all of that work. And we do that. So then she could probably put them in touch with me and or somebody else that would be able to support them so they could start their podcast again so they can make more money. It's a win-win-win. All right. Then we'll go ahead and record the episodes with them. And maybe through the courting, think of this as a courtship, okay? Think of this going back to dating. Hi, I'm Adam. Mwah! Right on the lips. It's a little much. It's a little scary. But if that person and I, we got along, we added value to each other. We helped out each other. We knew each other. We trusted each other. Maybe one day we would kiss, right? And that's the same thing with business. Same exact thing with business. So we're switching it from the quick, can you marry me? To, hey, let me just add value to you. Let me see what you need. Let me put you in touch with somebody. Actual adding value. And then it can hopefully move into something. And if it doesn't, no problem. It may be a referral. It may just be that we added value to them. And it may be that they learn to connect with us later and that they love us. And now we're kissing or working together. We're starting to work together. And I want you to be thinking through this. How are you marketing? Did you get any good ideas today of how you could do a private message or a direct messaging campaign to market what you're doing? By going into the Facebook groups that your client, your perfect avatar is there. And you could add value to them by maybe bringing them on your podcast. You could add value to them by maybe connecting them with somebody. And after that happens, it is possible, maybe even probable, they're more likely to actually work with you in a capacity where they hire you, where it's money exchanged for services. And that's exactly what we're looking for. Hope you got some great ideas. The next episode after today's solo episode is an interview episode. And I got somebody that is going to add some value to you, that I interviewed, that I asked some questions, and I don't want you to miss it. This one was short, so I'll just see you on the next episode. This is serious. Don't go. Now that you've gotten whatever value that you feel that you got, the actionable takeaways, you need to implement the stuff that you learned. If you remember me talking about bird church once, and they learn how to fly, and then they walk home, I don't want you to walk home. I want you to fly home. So take the steps, take the actionable steps for your benefit so that you can become a better podcaster. That's the only thing that I ask of you. And I'll see you for more actionable tips on the very next episode.